everybody. Thank you for joining us today for the webinar on facilities management from traditional to digital. My name is Jalen Sims, and I'm delighted to be your host and presenter for this session. A little bit about myself. I'm the sustainability specialist at Lucid Coast. I have a strong passion for helping organizations embrace digital solutions and enhance their future facilities management practices. Since I started my position, I've been working with numerous companies, both large and small, to implement software systems that effectively track data and optimize their valuable assets. And in today's rapidly evolving world, where technology is transforming every industry, it's going to be crucial for facilities management professionals to embrace digital advancements. And by doing so, your organization can unlock greater efficiency, cost savings, and sustainability within your field. Today, I aim to provide you with valuable insights and practical strategies so you can navigate the journey from traditional to digital facilities management. And we will explore some key technologies and tools, discuss some case studies, and address common challenges organizations face during the implementation process. My belief with this is that after today, you will be informed and empowered enough to make decisions that can drive positive change within your respective organizations. Before we dive into this world of facilities management, let's take a moment to outline the objectives for this webinar today. First, we're going to go through what traditional facilities management looks like and some of the information that I've gathered over my time here at Lucid Coast and working in this space. Then we'll transition over to the benefits of digital facilities management, talk about some key technologies that my team and I at Lucid Coast can help implement into your organization. And then we'll talk about overcoming some challenges and some best practices within the space. So first, like I said, we'll talk about understanding traditional facilities management. So I've got about 6 examples prepared. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to these processes if you're currently in this field. From the people that I've talked to, most of the professionals in the field are facing the same pain points, which I find very interesting. So yeah, let's get into it. So one of the first ones that I wanted to bring up is manual processes. In the people that I've talked to, it really sounds like a lot of people are still doing a lot of data entry and, like I said, manual processing within their work. Things like work order generation, maintenance scheduling, asset tracking are typically handled through physical documents or spreadsheets, and this can pose a lot of different challenges. The first one being that it's just really inefficient to have to spend so much time on these documents or on this work order processes and things like that. Also, paperwork needs to be physically filed and organized, which can result in delays or inefficiencies when handling work orders. Also, maintenance requests and other operational tasks have a increased risk of error because human error is one of the easiest ways to make a mistake or to have a problem within an organization. Also, with manual processes, there's a lack of real-time visibility. It becomes really difficult to be able to see the status of work orders or maintenance activities or asset performance if the information is not readily available and you have to go find it somewhere in a filing cabinet. Who knows where that could be. Also wanted to bring up reactive maintenance. This is another pain point that I've seen a lot of times. With reactive maintenance, it makes things a lot more challenging to really know what the problems are, because if you're always in a reactive mindset, this can lead to unplanned repairs, increased downtime, potentially even safety risks when things start to break and then you have to go fix them. With reactive maintenance, there's a limited how do I say this? There's a limited way to just keep business flowing as it should. If something breaks down, that can lead to downtime, which can lead to loss of money or not being able to provide your services that your organization is intended to do. If one were if one were able to adopt a computerized maintenance system, uh, they would be able to digitize their asset tracking, streamline their maintenance scheduling, and also automate their work order generation, which could allow for real-time visibility and also enable proactive maintenance planning. The next slide, I want to discuss limited data visibility. So most of the time in traditional facilities management, data collection and analysis are often minimal, which is leading to lack of real-time insights into performance, energy consumption, and other crucial metrics. And data may be scattered across disparate systems or, like I said, stored manually, making it really difficult to compile all of the data and then analyze it properly. With when you have limited data visibility, you have an inability to identify trends within your organization. Like I just mentioned, you're more doing more reactive decision making instead of proactive decision making. You have inefficient resource allocation because without real-time data on asset performance and maintenance requirements, it becomes really difficult to allocate resources effectively. And this can result in the overutilization of some assets, underutilization of others, or unnecessary maintenance activities, leading to just increased costs and inefficiencies throughout the whole organization. As far as siloed organizations, a lot of times I've seen that different teams or different departments manage different aspects of facilities in different ways. Um, and this just has a lot of problems with the communication and collaboration because when everything's all siloed in different departments or on different teams, it just, like I said, the communication is just a lot more challenging across the organization. There's a lot of fragmented processes, maybe even duplicated efforts, or your objectives within the organization might not be aligned because people are not communicating effectively. There's also opportunities to miss a lot of optimization within your organization because these silos prevent the sharing of data and best practices across the teams, limiting the ability to identify and implement optimization opportunities. So, if we can break down these silos, foster more collaboration in organizations, then they can leverage your organization can leverage collective knowledge and experience to drive continuous improvement and also innovation. Next, what I've seen a lot of the times, some of these biggest problems is that there's a limited technology adoption. So, like I mentioned, there's a lot of manual processes going on right now. Things are being filed manually, written manually. I've seen a lot of people that are still using Excel, which is good. Excel does its job. Um, but there's a lot easier ways and more automated ways to get things done. Um, when you have some basic software applications, these tools can just help with automation and also integration between your organization. As far as proactive planning, traditional facilities management often focuses on immediate issues and reactive maintenance, neglecting long term planning and strategic asset management. And this approach can lead to a lot of missed opportunities for cost savings, as well as sustainability improvements and overall optimization. Some things that could be considered in more of a long-term realm. The first is preventative maintenance. If When traditional facilities management tends to prioritize reactive maintenance and addressing only issues as they occur, then this can just reduce overall efficiency within the organization. Like I mentioned, a lot of missed cost savings and also a lot of limited sustainability initiatives. That's where I focus a lot of my work at Lucid Coast is in the sustainability space, trying to help organizations become more sustainable. But by neglecting this proactive planning, it makes it really challenging to think of different energy efficient technologies or opportunities to reduce environmental impact or even lower your operational costs. So next, I wanted to jump into the benefits of digital facilities management. Um, there's obviously numerous benefits that can go on. I think I got about six of them for you all today. The first one is enhanced efficiency. So, digital facilities management brings significant efficiency improvements, mostly by automating manual processes and streamlining workflows. With automated workflows, digital facilities managers they can automate repetitive and time-consuming tasks, such as just typing numbers into an Excel spreadsheet or writing those down. Even work order generation or maintenance scheduling and documentation. Those processes usually take a decent amount of time, and if they were able to be automated, then people could focus on more valuable projects with their time. Also, with enhanced efficiency, there's streamlined communication. These digital platforms that I'll be talking about soon enable streamlined communication among different teams or contractors or stakeholders or boards or the C-suite. um, and collaboration features allow for instant notifications and updates, and also status tracking of the different assets in your organization. If we can eliminate paperwork, that would be a huge win for organizations because this reduces the administrative burdens associated with like filing and organizing and searching for these paper-based records, like I mentioned earlier. Then overall, that'll just save a lot of time and resources for people. And if we can move into a real-time visibility space, this will be absolutely crucial for facility directors and operators and managers because being able to see equipment status and performance is super important, and that'll help us move away from this reactive maintenance space that we're in currently. There's things. It's called IoT, the Internet of Things, and these are basically sensors that can be integrated within your organization around key parts of your organization, such as the different meters that you may have, or in areas where there's large machinery or different systems that are providing data. And with these IoT sensors, the facilities managers can then monitor things such as temperature, humidity, vibration, energy consumption, and also allow them to identify other potential issues or anomalies that may be happening within their facility space. Also, with real time visibility, it just gives a bigger insight into energy monitoring and optimization. So when we can leverage real-time data on our energy consumption, then we can start to identify inefficiencies or even start to implement energy saving measures. So for example, one of those could be if your building is open from 12 to 8, then you could have an automatic sensor that around 8 o'clock, you could have the heat get turned down 10 degrees, as an example, just to save on gas. Um, Yeah, so also with real-time visibility, we start to move into a data-driven decision-making space compared to, again, the reactive space. And with this, we just start to see real-time analytics. Uh, we're able to we're able to access up-to-date information and also perform different trend analysis, generate reports and actionable insights, and really just optimize our operations to improve on asset performance and overall efficiency. Moving on to the next slide. With digital facilities management, there's no doubt that improved maintenance practices will come from that. Um, with some of the software that I'll be talking about real soon here, you can do things like predictive maintenance and also condition monitoring. And this allows you to identify potential equipment issues before they result in a failure. So then you don't have to have any downtime within your organization. And by analyzing real time data from IoT sensors or historical data or algorithms and things like that, you can start to detect patterns and anomalies, and this will indicate impending failure. So then you can send a technician or maintenance person out there to fix the problem before it becomes bigger than it needs to. Also, with these improved maintenance practices, you can focus on condition monitoring, allowing you to set multiple conditions and different sensors to these facilities. And then the sensors track the parameters, like mentioned, such as temperature and these things. So you can really have a full understanding of how your facilities data and operations are happening. Also focusing on different like maintenance planning and resource optimization, you can really start to allocate your employees and also your time to different activities once you can automate a lot of the manual processes that were taking up a good amount of your time. And as I mentioned momentarily ago, this moves us into a space of data-driven decision making. When we can start to see our real-time energy consumption, our real-time data, this will just be very helpful in understanding our consumption patterns and really just allow us to implement energy efficiency measures, which will be really nice. We can start to identify more wasteful practices and also just make informed decisions on our energy procurement and also optimization. As far as these data-driven decisions, we can start to focus more on maintenance trends and really understand when things are failing, when we need to improve them, and what is an optimal like frequency of business look like within our space. Also, moving into the more financial side of things, once we understand our data and our processes better, we can have a lot better budget planning and also cost allocation, knowing that the furnace needs to be replaced every 8 months or 8 years, for example. We'll be able to better plan and budget for those decisions. And then finally, with the data-driven decision making, we can focus on performance benchmarking and really start to do better with our facilities and operations. Once we have something that we can check against or use as like a key performance indicator, such as energy consumption per square foot or something like that, then we can really set performance goals and track progress over time and be able to compare against the baseline and see if we're doing better or worse over time. So with digital facilities management, there's also enhanced collaboration and communication across these organizations. And this is mainly because there's a centralized access to all of this data. In our previous examples, if everything's filed with paper or by hand, then for me to understand some information, whether it be work orders or just overall cost analysis data, I have to then go to that in-person location and then spend, I don't know, a half hour searching through files to find the exact information that I need. And if there was just a centralized data warehouse that is on the cloud, able to be accessed by everyone in my information or everyone in my organization, then this information is just more easily accessible and I don't have to waste time trying to contact multiple people to figure out a single issue or a single problem. So this really just enables seamless information sharing across the whole entire organization when it is stored in one secure place. Also, with this enhanced communication and collaboration of the digital space, it just moves us into a seamless workflow integration because there's various different workflows and processes. Um, but once you identify one that works well for you and your team with the systems that you implement, these digital systems you implement, then you can really just start to eliminate bottlenecks, eliminate these siloed information centers, and start to just streamline and optimize your processes to just get everything down pat. As far as cost savings, this is definitely something that is overlooked, I think, a lot in this space because when we think of updating our updating our facilities, whether or updating our technology to help manage our facilities, we are mostly looking at the upfront cost of like, for example, number out of my head, wow, this is going to be $40,000. Can we really afford this? Um, but something that I always remind people to think about is thinking about how much time you're going to be saving by automating all of these processes. Because once you automate all these manual processes, like I mentioned before, you're able to then use you and your team members to focus on more things of value instead of just data crunching and number crunching. You're able to think of new processes, new ways of doing things, new reporting, and uh, save a lot of time and from time, money on processes that maybe weren't as valuable. Also, by then saving our people's time, we can focus on the things that matter, just efficient resource allocation, energy optimization, and really making sure that, like I said, all of our processes are just seamless and able to be um, able to be done properly and done in a way that is easy and available to everyone in our organizations. So next, I wanted to move into some key technologies and tools for digital facilities management. So as I mentioned, this is the space that we at Lucid Coast specialize in. Um, yeah, I'll just jump right into it. The first area or the first software that we specialize in is IBM Maximo. So IBM is one of our business partners. We help implement IBM software into organizations. And with IBM Maximo, I've come to learn that this is a super, super powerful enterprise asset management software. Some of the capabilities that it offers, obviously in the name, asset management. This is allowing organizations to effectively manage their assets throughout their life cycle, providing features like asset registration, classification, hierarchy, management. We can do location tracking and also see specific asset details, maintenance history, warranties, and other associated documentation. Maximo also does work order management, streamlines a work order management process, enabling organizations to effectively then plan, schedule, and execute maintenance tasks. So this just helps everybody in the organization, from directors to technicians, to make sure that everything is being done as it should and that we're checking our boxes off. Also, there's things like inventory management. Maximo helps organizations optimize their inventory levels and improve inventory management processes. We can do things like preventative and predictive maintenance. Maximo supports the proactive maintenance strategies. So this enables organizations to implement preventative maintenance, predictive maintenance, and allows the creation of different maintenance plans, scheduling routine inspections, condition-based monitoring, and also leveraging data from different sensors that we help implement throughout the organization to then predict equipment failures, trigger different maintenance actions, or optimize maintenance schedules. Couple other things. There's also mobile access. So instead of having to call somebody or send an email or go find this person within the organization, you can focus on your work order management in the app or within the software, and then send notifications to technicians directly to their iPad or smartphone or tablet or whatever technology they may have, which is really exciting. So then you're just not having to spend as much time in the communication phase. You can mostly just send it out. And then as soon as you send it out, it gets to somebody and the work is starting to be done. Within Maximo, also, there's a lot of different reporting and analytics capabilities. Maximo includes capabilities to generate insights and track performance metrics. It offers pre-built reports, dashboards, data visualization tools that allow organizations to create customized reports. You can monitor your KPIs better, analyze data trends, And again, the whole point of all this is to make data-driven decision making and also continuous improvement within our organization. So that was a little bit about Maximo. That is one of the two softwares that I'll be talking about today. The second one is Invisi. So this is also developed by IBM, and this is another software that the Lucid Coast team specializes in implementing and understanding. And Invisi is really nice because this software is mostly focused on the sustainability side of things, in my understanding. Things like energy management, sustainability reporting, resource optimization. Um, this is where this software excels, which is really amazing. This software is actually both softwares are standalone, meaning you don't need them to be you don't need them you don't need to have other software to integrate these softwares properly, which is really nice. They are standalone. And what's also really nice is that they do not only connect to each other, but connect to other ERP systems or historical systems within enterprise organizations, which is really nice. Invisi offers a lot of different features, things like meter data management, energy data collection, real-time energy monitoring. You can make tons of different reports out of this software, whether that's focused on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, focused on SASB, focused on any number of reports that you could think of. This software can streamline those processes of reporting. So it gives you almost like a checklist and a guideline, so you're not just alone trying to figure out what would be good to report on. What's also really nice is that this software focuses on building performance management, so allowing for things like analyzing building data, such as like HVAC systems, lighting, occupancy, indoor air quality, and also just offers a lot of different energy saving opportunities. Um, we can focus on carbon emissions management, um, focusing on scope one, two, three emissions, greenhouse gases, carbon accounting, emissions tracking, and also scenario modeling. So we can um, really just understand where we would like to get to, set those targets, and then develop strategies to minimize environmental impact. Couple things about Invisi. It's as we continue to move in the sustainability space here in the USA. I know in Europe they're really cracking down hard on these regulations. USA, we're not fully there yet. We're on our way and just moving at a slower pace, I guess you could say. But what's really nice about implementing these softwares is that we can get ahead of the game. And before we're forced to start reporting and regulating our environmental impact, we can get a head start here. This is an opportunity to get a head start, and um, with that, by getting that head start, it's only gonna increase our value of our organizations and also just show our stakeholders, whether that be customers, like I said, the C-suite, board of directors, or even employees. It's gonna show by adopting these technologies and being ahead of the game. It's just gonna make your organization that much more valuable and show people that you care about your impact on society and the environment. So as we continue, there's a lot of challenges in this space of not only implementing software, but also the sustainability space and the facilities management space. So I wanted to dive into some of the challenges that I've seen and maybe how to overcome them, and then also some best practices when it comes to implementing these softwares or becoming on your way to implementing these softwares. So some of the challenges, it really starts with leadership and the commitment and engagement of your leaders. For any major initiatives to happen, your leaders of your organization are gonna need to be on board. So it's important that you are able to express these ideas clearly and also bring in experts when needed to discuss with your leaders ways that changes could be made or that organizations can begin to evolve in this space. The second area is collaboration and partnerships. So, finding the right partners is going to be very important for organizations as they continue to move forward. And this, when I say partners, I mean suppliers, customers, other stakeholders, and other businesses that may be working with your organization. Because collective action is really going to amplify the impact of sustainability efforts, creating shared value as organizations, and um, moving into a space where just to bring it back to the beginning, we're focusing less on reactive maintenance and reactive measures and more on proactive measures and really getting an understanding of what our supply chain looks like and then how we can move forward and do better. As far as barriers to resistance, we need to identify what may be stopping us within our organization from being able to move forward with these digital technologies. Is it budgeting? Is it proper planning? Is it the leadership? Is um, is it the stakeholders that may not be pushing hard enough or may not even know the capabilities of these type of things? So really identifying what could be stopping you and your organization from making changes, and then also developing a compelling business case and being able to clearly communicate the benefits of these technologies and of sustainability and being able to show what the return on investment will be. As far as continuous improvement and innovation, this is something that I believe, most people are striving towards. Most organizations are striving towards, always trying to grow, trying to get better. So it's going to be important to encourage employees to generate new ideas, experiment with new approaches, and then give people the opportunity to implement innovative solutions within the organization. And then last but not least is employee education and training. And we could even put leadership education and training on here as well. It's just really important to make sure that when we're trying to move into innovative spaces or new spaces, that we can properly educate people, because most people fear what they don't know. And if they don't know all the capabilities of these softwares, if they don't know how the organization can change for the better, then they're going to be scared and they're not going to want to make a change, especially if something is working. Because you know the old saying, don't fix it if it's not broken. See, all these manual processes and Excel reporting, it works and it does the job, but it could be done better. So that's what we really need to focus on explaining to our constituents and stakeholders and leaders, is that yes, things are working okay now, but they could be a lot better. So just clearly communicating that will be a challenge, but also a really big opportunity to make things better. And then last but not least, moving into best practices. So once we start to make some progress or get into this space a little more of implementing these digital facilities managing tools or even sustainability tools, the first thing is establishing clear goals and metrics. So, starting by setting measurable goals aligned with your organization's values and objectives. So, establishing like what are your KPIs and what metrics are important to your organization to track process or to track progress. And this will help create a roadmap for implementation, and then this will enable effective monitoring and evaluating of these different initiatives that you're trying to push through. Next is understanding the stakeholder engagement. So, um, first, identifying who your stakeholders are, whether that be everyday customers, the suppliers, community members, politicians, C suite, board members, whoever this may be. We need to understand what their needs are and then what would be the best way to move forward. So with these clear goals and metrics you've set, That's your starting place. From there, understanding what do your stakeholders really need and want, and then from there, uh, integrating a business strategy or a business plan that can not only align with your initiatives that you're trying to do as an organization, but also collaborate with the stakeholders so then you can lead a new, innovative plan and build stronger relationships across the organization as well. Moving to data collection and analysis. So this is where these softwares really do a lot of great work. They um, are just able to automate so many different processes, save us a lot of time, collect, analyze, report on relevant data. Um, so with this data collection and analysis, it's uh, similar to just understanding what your KPIs are and what's important to track progress. This will be another big step in the implementation process is just understanding what is all of the data that you're collecting. It's so probably utilities, um, maybe some other things with stakeholders that might be specific to your organization, and then also just like carbon emissions, scope one, two, three emissions, things like that. So, what actually figuring out what actually are you looking to collect with all of this data, and then also just celebrating and communicating successes. I think this is super important to drive home and leave on a positive note that once you're making progress in these spaces, whether it be educating people, whether it be um, starting to convince people or help people understand that this way of the future is happening with or without us, it's important to celebrate the small wins that you start to make. So once your C-suite does understand what ESG and sustainability are and how facilities ties into that, celebrate that and encourage them to continue learning more and communicate that success across the organization so other employees and other people can start to recognize the changes that are being made and the momentum can just continue and people will not only get excited but also probably want to learn more and see different ways that they can help. So yeah, by adopting these best practices and addressing these challenges proactively, your organization and organizations around the world can overcome these barriers to digital implementation and sustainability and drive meaningful change towards a more sustainable future. So on that, what are your questions? I've kind of went through a lot. I touched over some current practices within the facilities management space, went over some different softwares that could be valuable, and then went through some of the challenges and best practices that you could implement into your organization. So I'm curious to know, yeah, what didn't make sense for you? What could, if anything, needs to be explained better? Feel free to type in the chat or type on our LinkedIn live any questions that you have. I would love to be able to talk about that and answer that with y'all. So we have a couple questions, or we have one question so far. So do you have solutions for small organizations like a historic community theater? Um, So that's a great question. Thank you, Amy, for asking that. So, I think this could be definitely discussed one on one. I would love to schedule a chat with you just so we can talk about it and really do a deep dive into what your organization may need. But besides that, the two solutions that I talked about today, Envisi and Maximo, they are normally for a larger enterprise organization such as universities or large manufacturing or something along those lines. But the really nice part about Envisi specifically is that it's modular, meaning you don't have to use all of it at once. So I'll click back to this slide real quick. So this is a really nice slide showing off the capabilities of what Envisi can do. And you could take each of these basically as a module. So if your theater just for now needed to focus on utility bill analytics, and maybe some HVAC fault detection, we would start there and really start with your organization and then grow with you as you continue to grow. Um, yeah, I hope that answers your question, Amy. Basically, just saying that yes, we can work with smaller organizations. Um, we just need to figure out where in the journey you are currently and where you would like to move forward. Thank you for that question. Does anybody else have any questions? We've got a little good amount of time still. Feel free to type up those in the chat or on LinkedIn, and I would be happy to answer any questions for you. Zeus is scalable. Nice. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mike. Yes, exactly. The solution is scalable, like I mentioned. Um, whether you're a small business just getting started or you are have been doing business for 20 plus years and you have facilities all over the country, for example, we can work with any size organization and then figure out your needs and then move from there. Okay, well, we're coming on about 45 minutes now. I hope this was valuable for you all. I hope you were able to take away some information from this webinar, and um, I hope that you're able to implement some of the things we talked about today. So, just as a last note before we sign off, let me get this slide back up. Yeah, feel free to use my Calendly link. It is in the LinkedIn Live, and it's also here on this broadcast. Feel free to schedule a meeting on my calendar. I'd love to talk with you just as a discovery call, get to know more about you and your organization and what you've got going on. Um, Otherwise, yeah, I'll be reaching out to everybody that signed up for the webinar on LinkedIn just as a follow up, see if anybody needs any more clarification or understanding on things. So, if there are no more questions, then yeah, we can end this broadcast here. Thank you all for taking the time out of your day to be here, and yeah, we'll see you in the next webinar.